Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Delta Entertainment. I am your host, Lincoln Kenobi. And before we get started, I would like you guys please hit that like button and please subscribe to my channel. Would appreciate that very, very much. All right, let's get into this. So this is I got one article that talks about the Superman movie, and this is from one guy that is a huge, huge Superman fan, and this is from that Park Place. So I suggest you guys read it. So why the world needs Superman and why Superman doesn't need James Gunn. And this is written by Marvin Montanaro, which is the same guy that talked about when he watched the movie Lilo and Stitch. So here we go. Now, to me, Superman is a guy that brings hope. And yes, in the comic books, there is, which I found out, which I really hated, there's some parts that are political that he has to fight. But we don't need it in this modern day nonsense right now. We don't need it right now. Superman is a guy that flies around and saves people, no matter what country you're in. If he's doing a job as Clark Kent and then he hears something going on from far away, he makes an excuse and he changes into Superman and he takes off. And that's what Superman does. That's what he does. He doesn't need orders from a president. I mean, yeah, he does it for truth, justice, and the American way, but he's doing it for his own purpose too. But right now, when I've been reading about what James Gunn is trying to do to this movie, bro, it's like, why? I mean, there's rumors that he's taking away the American way and he's trying to do it the human way. There's talk that Luthor has got some monkey-like aliens that are doing his tweeters and making humiliate Superman in a bad way. I mean, you had Lois Lane that went hard on Clark Kent as Superman in an interview of why he went to this Middle Eastern area to help these people and end the war, which Superman said, "I stopped the war." It's like, I don't know, man, but right now we just don't need modern nonsense. And there's talk that Lex Luthor is being compared to Elon Musk. So to me right now, I would not like that. I mean, if you're gonna do a Superman movie, do it about him, not about what James Gunn's life was. Because mainly the movie mainly the movie is trying to do is put Superman, that if James Gunn was Superman, which he's not. Superman is a comic book that was created by Canadians. He is not another person. He is his own. So let's read some of these things that he talked about. Let's see. So let's go right here. Superman is bigger than Zack Snyder, bigger than James Gunn. He's even bigger than the Warner Bros. Discovery. He's an icon not because all is powerful, but because he's morally grounded. He doesn't represent nihilism, postmodern angst, or Hollywood's needs for trauma-centric story arcs. He represents hope, and not the kind of vague, empty hope squalled on an Equatorian family crest. Real hope, the kind grounded in truth, justice, and the American way. So, let's keep going. The American way is reportedly absent from Gunn's script, and that's not a small admission. It's a rejection of Superman's core. He didn't grow up on some generic space rock or in an urban war zone. He grew up in the heartland of a farm with parents who believed in hard work, decency, and sacrifice. He's not some alien god looking down on humanity the way Snyder portrayed him. He's one of us, trying to do what's right because he was raised that way. Now, this is what he talked. This is the portrayal that he. This is what he talked about when he described about Dean Cain's take on Superman. The best Superman portrayals have always understood that. Dean Cain nailed it in Lois and Clark with line, "Superman is what I can do. Clark is who I am." Exactly. Superman is Clark Kent. When he came down to Earth, his name was Clark Kent. In another planet, he was named as Kal-El, but in Earth, he was named Clark Kent. And in his life, he was Clark Kent. He had all these powers. He didn't know how he can use them. So, of course, he decided to use Superman as a disguise. As a disguise that he can do what he wanted to do, but after it was done, he would go back down and just be Clark Kent. You know? And that's the goal of that, you know? While I love Christopher Reeve's Superman films, they were from a different era. One where Superman stood apart from humanity and used the disguise of Clark to blend in. I've always preferred the more modern interpretation where Clark is the person his parents raised him and Superman is a disguise he uses to help people. Exactly.
On average, we spend 93% of our life.
I hate that. I don't know why they do that. So then this talks about right here with Tyler Hoechlin as Superman and Lois show. Now, I watched the first and second season. They were pretty good. It was a pretty good show. I couldn't get into the third season, but I've seen some scenes that were pretty good and everything. I need to get back into it one day. It ended with season 4 with a good ending, bro. But I will say this. In his portrayal as Superman in the CW, he was a father, he was a husband, a protector. And of course, he did the same thing. He's Clark Kent in regular time, but when he hears that there's trouble, he stops what he's doing and he flies away and helps people. And that's what he does. So, right here. Now, this one he's talking about is season 3, where this woman was a villain who had the power of sonar, like raising vocal cords, and tried to destroy Superman. She was dying. So there's a scene in that series where Superman flies an enemy into the sky and she's about to explode. And even then, she's comforting her. That's Superman. Not sneering a cape like a Hot Topic mannequin. Not brooding over whether humanity deserves to be saved. Not getting lectured by Jonathan Kent to maybe let the school bus full of kids die. You know? And that brings us to the director problem. Yeah, man, I mean, Bryan Singer, I will say this. His Superman was fine. It just did not like... They try to make it look more of a Christopher Reeve-like thing. Like it was a sequel to something that was going on. But it wasn't. So... But the acting was good, and I liked Brandon Routh playing Superman. So it was a pretty good movie, but it wasn't like that awesome. So Zack Snyder's take on it, I liked the movie, but there were some things that it kind of missed, you know. So, but for James Gunn right now, trying to do Superman, I don't know, man. I'm a bit worried about this movie, man. I do hope. I will say this. I do hope this movie's good. For me, I do hope the movie is good. But with everything that I have read about it, with everything that I have seen, what they're doing, I don't know, man. I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit nervous. So I did buy tickets for the premiere. On the 4 days before the movie actually comes out, I did buy that. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to make my honest review, and I will let you guys know if the movie is good or if the movie's bad. You know? But like I said, dude, I'm a bit worried about this. I'm a bit worried about this movie. So, you guys let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? So please, by all means, share this video, post a comment below, let me know your thoughts. And as always, thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you for being part of the channel. And I hope to see you guys until next time. Bye, everyone.